The Adidas ULTRABOOST has been around since 2015, but they only count 5 different iterations of those as actual new models. So because of that, today we're going to be taking a look at the Adidas ULTRABOOST 5X. So for the uninitiated, Crazy Black 108, and I'm back with another video. And as always, guys, I'm here to talk about an Adidas shoe. And this time we're looking at the brand new Adidas ULTRABOOST 5X and getting into, what's new with this year's model. So before we dive into the history, let's talk about the important things first and just do the main review pieces for the shoe. Let's talk tech specs. You have a prime knit upper on the shoe. You have a cage that's not really a real cage on here. It's just basically where the cage is at. It's this little rigid piece that's just meant to have for your laces, so you have some support there, keeping your foot on the footbed. You have a little heel cup here, the same little like ankle pillows in the ankle collar piece. The Boost midsole on this one is a new Boost midsole for this year. It still is light Boost like last year's model, but this time it's even lighter from what the tech specs say, along with it being a little bit better energy return. And for me, the big thing I noticed is that instead of having a whole bunch of extra boosts in the heel, in the forefoot now there is more boost there, which is where a lot of people have asked for more boost to be put for years. But this is one of the first times I really feel like we've seen that be applied, which is cool. On the outsole, of course, you have a continental rubber, so this makes it, a little bit more tactile than other rubber compounds. You also can see the torsional support bar. In here, it's this X-bar plate that is in between the Boost midsole and the outsole, which helps give it that, springiness to the shoe, which is great. And if you look at the other little callouts on the shoe, I think this colorway pretty dope. You got your Adidas branding here on the heel, tongue, and of course on the side of the shoe, which is pretty regular for what we expect. Oh, and I forgot to mention it's on the front of the shoe. So the ULTRABOOST has always been one of my favorite shoes. Ever since 2015 when the first one came out, I've always really enjoyed it. But what I thought was really interesting was that this year with the model, they call this one the ULTRABOOST 5 if you get the regular version. Note for everyone watching, what's the difference between this and the ULTRABOOST 5X? Well, best way to go and find out is to go watch one of Nightwing's videos, because he has a comparison between the 5X and the regular ULTRABOOST 5. But it really comes down to this being a cage. There's a cage on the ULTRABOOST 5 that looks reminiscent to a lot of the old cages. Honestly, to me, it reminds me of the cage on I don't know, I'm looking at all the models over here, kind of more like the ones and a little bit like last year's model. Which is nice, because I've always felt the cage kind of gives it that additional look to it. But this is just so you have a little bit more comfortable upper without having that cage kind of wrap around your foot. I'm not really certain if it's going to make a difference performance-wise. I'm not really certain if I'm going to mind it one way or the other. I probably won't buy too many more of the 5Xs. I'll probably buy a couple pairs of 5s, but it just depends, Price point-wise, too, they are both retailing at $180, so there's no real price difference between the two. It really just comes more down to performance and looks and style. But yeah, let's talk about the history of this, because I think that to me is where I'm going to have some fun with this video, guys. So the ULTRABOOST, they're calling this the 5, right? But a lot of people would sit there and be like, there's been way more than just 5 ULTRABOOST models. But I really think that the difference and why they're doing this is because when you look at the brand and the line over the course of the years, there's only really been 5 different iterations of the shoe that are different. And those 5 iterations mainly come down to what they do with the Boost midsole, because that's what makes the ULTRABOOST compared to a pure Boost pair or something else. So if I were to sub this shoe out for these, the original ULTRABOOST, this is the original 1.0 that I've done painstaking things to try to keep it looking the way it does. You would notice that this is, the very first model. But a lot of people also know that there's been multiple iterations of this. You've had the 1.0, the 2.0, the 3.0, the 4.0, the 5.0. Speaking of the 5.0, let's just switch this out for that. Oh, and it's in black now, that's cool. So this is the 5.0, but the only difference between these two models really is the prime knit upper and how the knit pattern is, because otherwise this is the exact same shoe. They've now really called this the ULTRABOOST DNA because it has the DNA of the very original ULTRABOOST, and it's that very same style and look, minus some upper changes and tweaks. But they've also done many different things with this upper too. You can see on my wall behind me over here, actually, it probably might be out of frame a little bit, but that's the ULTRABOOST uncaged, which is basically the same shoe, but without the cage. But they don't count that as a different full model line difference. You know, the very next time that they finally updated this shoe was actually with the 19s. And so the 19s added more boost to it, you know, and they changed what the prime knit upper was. This is my very first pair of 19s. And they kept this style and look for the next year or two, actually, because even when you switch this out for the 20s, you still end up seeing that this shoe is pretty much the same style. I mean, that boost midsole is the same. The only difference is how they do the cage and the prime knit upper on these. This also, to me, marks the beginning of the prime knit uppers not being as soft as they used to be. But then again, you know, Adidas switched this up when they came to 21 with this version of the Ultra Boost. Technically, I'm holding a pair of 22s right here. I do have some pair of 21s, but again, there was not really any huge difference between the two, except you notice the boost midsole is different again. You got this big, you know, puck of boost here in the keel. You have some more boost in the forefoot, but you also can see how much thinner the forefoot is on this model. And then this was the last time they had a change until, well, last year actually, which gave you these, the Ultra Boost Light. And the thing about the Ultra Boost Light is, again, you can see that this midsole is different and the forefoot has boost in it, but it's not really a big chunk of boost. You know, and that's one of the big differences as well. The prime knit upper on here is all right, but this is where I think, you know, you see the different iterations. So you go through each of these shoes. Technically, this makes this the 4. It makes the prior one the 3, the one before that the 2, and the OG is, of course, the 1. But when you switch this back out for the new one, you can tell that, you know, they've really just kind of upped the game. And I think the big game changer really this year is going to be this boost midsole, having all this extra boost up in the forefoot. I haven't ran these yet. I've kind of worn around the house a little bit to get a feel for them. They're pretty nice so far. Again, like I said, my big thing I'm a fan is the upper. The prime knit upper is really nice compared to the prior years, which I think makes a huge difference. I also too just want to show for some runners as well, like the insole for it. This says Ultra Boost on it. It's really just this plain, you know, insole. There's nothing really to write home about, because I usually don't try to do too much with this so that you can actually still feel the boost in them. But, you know, overall, guys, I really think that this new Ultra Boost model is really cool. It is interesting, though, to see that, like, the Ultra Boost Lite has the shortest lifespan out of any of the Ultra Boost models. Because, you know, the ones lasted pretty much from 2015 all the way up to 2019. The 19s and you know, for 19 and 20. The 21s, 21, 22, and then 23s, which was the Ultra Boost Light from last year, only lasted 1 year. And then 2024, we now have these. So it's kind of cool to see Adidas be willing to make such a drastic change in the model that quickly. And I also think it speaks to them just kind of knowing what they have some design language that they want to, you know, kind of fix and tweak. And honestly, too, I think, especially when I've seen like reviews of the Ultra Boost 5, where it has the cage, it just really gives me the vibes of the original Ultra Boost, you know, that has this, you know, same kind of silhouette and look to it. Just, you know, when you put this with the cage back on, I really feel it gives that 1.0 look, which I think for a lot of people is going to make the 5s come back into rotation as a shoe that they will probably wear casually. Because I think that's the other thing too. Some people really like the look of the classic Ultra Boost, but when they don't have that, then it's kind of like, well, I really want the shoe anyway, you know, it becomes difficult. But yeah, guys, you know, I really enjoyed this shoe so far. That's from like a visual standpoint, and then when I've been walking in the house, I thought they've been pretty cool. On Adidas right now, you can actually order tons of different colorways of the 5X. All retailing at $180. I'll put, you know, a link down in the description so you guys can go look and see. I didn't look and double check to see if the 5s are available. If they are, I will post something with that. And if I ever do get a pair of 5s, I'll do a review of that. And, you know, yeah. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Oh, wait. Also, come here. Come closer. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. A little bit. Ooh, back up, back up, back up. My D Rose fans. Y'all wondering, where the Rose reviews at, man? You ain't been doing no reviews, man. You ain't been posting nothing. You doing all this Star Wars stuff. You ain't doing this. What, you talking about Tiger Woods? I know, guys. I know. I know. And I apologize. It's hard to give D Roses now, man, especially when, you know, any new releases are all overseas. But that being said, the good folks over in the Philippines help your boy out and help me get a pair of some roses to review for y'all. So that'll probably be one of the first reviews I get out for you guys sometime soon. And then, you know, we'll see what else I can get, you know, in the work in for you guys and, you know, fulfill some long-awaited promises. But that being said, I thank you guys for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends. And until next time, guys, I'll see you around later. Peace. This is a pair of Ultra Boosts I've never worn. And these are a pair of the Clima Ultra Boosts with this like yellow lime green knit in it. These are so dope, man. These are dead stock. I ain't worn these once. I don't know why I want to share it with y'all, but I just felt like sharing that. So, I don't know. Go listen to Ethan's music over here, or I don't even know where it's going to be out on the screen. Subscribe. You still here and you ain't subscribed yet? That's crazy. Did you like the video at least? All right, bet. Cool. Is this still going? It might still be going. It'd be really awful if I get into the edit room and I end up having to cut it off and it just ends